I have a bit of an admission to make. I have been kind of just sitting here for 8 hours, not doing anything. I was supposed to start streaming about 8 hours ago, but for some reason I keep telling myself, I'm not going to be good enough, or people are going to find my channel or start to discover me and then realize other channels are better than mine, or maybe better edited than mine, or better produced than mine, or maybe I have background music and I don't, or they have all these extra things that I couldn't possibly have right now. But I ultimately just need to stay humble and remember that everybody starts out by themselves. Everybody starts out editing their own videos. Everybody starts out making money to hire people on Fiverr to do things for like overlays and Twitch alerts, emojis, and all that. It all comes with time, and I keep trying to tell myself that, yet for some reason I keep choking. For the first time in my life, I've been actually hyperventilating. It's not the pressure of worrying about what others are going to think about me. It's the pressure of worrying about living up to their expectations and trying to be better than what other people in the political space have to offer, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's just a very scary thing. So here I am, 8 hours late. I kept telling myself, actually, just give up on this whole thing. Go find a job. Go, just give up. But I don't want to do that. So I forced myself to hit start recording. And another reason why I'm forcing myself to do this right now is because there's so much going on today. And if I want to be in the political space at all, if I want to be a political streamer, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, Even though, like, my confidence is shot, and it's been shot my entire life, but here we are, and we're going to try to make this a great stream. I'm not actually streaming right now. I didn't have the balls to do that. I think what I might do, because here's the thing, guys. So many content creators and streamers, and I've hated this so much, they try to beat around the bush. They will not say what's on their mind. And I know that's probably what you might be getting the feeling right now. I'm choking up, I'm hesitating. But that's because I'm nervous. No, I'm talking about the people who've been doing it 5-10 years. The people who have like 2 million subscribers, and they never get to the meat and potatoes in their videos until like 10 minutes in, because they're trying to draw their videos out, and because all they really care about is money and watch time and views. And while I do need money, and I don't ultimately ever care about money, I always want to just get straight to the point, even though that is going to affect my business, not having that watch time, that viewer count. While my videos are probably going to be a lot shorter, since I won't be beating around the bush, I'm not going to get as much of a financial impact as them, but I kind of hope at the same time, by keeping my videos shorter, they can get watched more. They're not like 45-minute long Asmongold videos, or they're not 24-hour long live streams of an Alex Jones live stream. Like, they're not these crazy things. They're just I'm gonna go through a news story. I'm gonna try to tell you as much as I can. I'm gonna give you my biggest take, all my takes. If I have 100 takes, I'm gonna try to give you 100 takes. But I'm gonna try to do it not as fast as I can, but I'm not gonna take my time with it either. If I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. If I run out of something to say, I'm gonna move on. And the second we run out of things to have, then we end it, I guess. My real goal is to be able to actually stream, not do what I'm doing right now, which is recording. But my real goal is to actually stream, but to do that, I need some sort of confidence first, and doing this recording is a bit of like middle ground for me at the moment. But my real goal is to stream. That way I can get through all of these tabs with you guys, and then once I'm done talking about everything I saw, by 8 a.m. and, I scroll, let's say it's like 10 a.m. now, and I'm scrolling through, I see a couple other things to talk about them, now it's like 10:30, 11. I run out of things to say on my recording, I end it, right? However, if I'm streaming and we get to this point, you guys send me all the videos you want, send me all the stories if there's breaking news, all that. That is going to be great, because then I'll be able to extend my live streams a lot longer while doing what I want to do, and that's keeping everything short and tactful, and not 30-minute live streams that just take forever and ever and ever. I'm willing to do that when it comes to gaming, because, it's gaming, right? People don't mind 16-hour live streams of a gaming live stream, but I'm not going to sit here and chat your ear off for 5 hours about one story, right? Or I'm not going to sit here and chat your ear off for 30 minutes about one story so I can edit it into a 15-minute video on YouTube. No, I think I'm just going to keep it about 7 minutes, and it's going to end up being a 2-minute video on YouTube. Yeah, while that is a big financial hit compared to the meta of how content creators, YouTubers, and streamers do their clips and videos, right, from their VODs, I don't want to go that route. And if we get to the live streaming portion, I'll be able to do what I want to do and a whole lot more, because I'll be having you guys telling me, current breaking news and what is going on. And that in of itself is going to be a huge boom. But to get to that live streaming point, I think I started my streaming career here trying to do too much all at once. And so I just need to do recordings, get my confidence. As soon as I got like an actual viewer base, you guys, I'm going to actually, instead of doing recordings at 8 a.m., I'm going to do live streams, have you guys in there helping me out, doing what you guys can, confidence-wise. But I really want to know your guys' opinions, and it kind of sucks that I'm not going to be getting your guys' opinions except for in the comments. And I've been trying to stay out of like YouTube comments for the last year because I'm a bit of a fucking troll. I'm a keyboard warrior, sadly. I hate to admit it, but I am. So I try to stay out of like comment spaces. That's also why I don't really post a whole lot on my X and Truth, because I talk a lot of shit, man, and I've been trying to be a better person for, a long time now, not get so angry, not be so judgmental, not be so over the top, and have my expectations and the bar set so high for everybody, and so I don't know. I did make a post on X. I will try to post more on social media. But anyways, let's just get started. I've been rambling on too much. I wanted to start today off with something cute, something to calm me down a little bit. I just found this channel. We got some cute things, but I don't know why they're going on a whole bunch of foxes today. But I was looking at yesterday, yeah, look at that.
这多少多了？
Tell me you wouldn't want one of those as your pet.
这俩就是白天他不就不用喝奶了？
I
Коля.
Like, I would be terrified and so thrilled at the same time.
Лапища у тебя.
Thrilled he sees you as a friend, but terrified he's keeping his teeth right around your hands. No. That's a puma, huh?
Коля.
Well, anyways, now we're gonna get started. I went ahead and I went through like 20 of the trending, or sorry, not, it wasn't really even 20, it was about 10 of the trending. I don't know how political streamers do this, but I wanted to keep my reactions fresh, of course. I went through the trending, I got about 10, and because I've been sitting here for 8 hours doing nothing, I've also been keeping up on like breaking news, and anytime like an actual piece of breaking news I want to talk about comes up, I made a tab of that as well. And I just want to say at 8 a.m. I only had half these tabs. There's a lot fucking going on today. So that's why I said earlier, if I want to be a political streamer, I can't exactly afford to back down right now. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I would also like to say real quick, I have been living under a rock for the last 5 months, a little bit on purpose when it comes to just news in general. For personal reasons, I don't want to go too much more into it now, maybe another day, but I've just been kind of keeping to myself, keeping my head down, not really paying attention to politics, pop culture, which is absolutely insane for somebody like me. That's literally been the focal point of my entire life. And because now I haven't been involved in politics or anything for about 5-6 months, I ain't gonna lie, I feel a little bit politically retarded, if that's even a word. But okay, enough rambling. We're gonna get into it. Oh, looks like this accidentally played. I promise I haven't seen this. Obviously, I seen the front. Yeah, police moving in. I woke up. This is the first thing I seen. This is my first tab I opened. The police are moving in. Apparently in DC, there was a whole bunch of liberals protesting. Liberals, if that's still what you want to call them. I'm not sure what in the political space, like how much resentment there is towards the liberal party still. But let's watch this video. I want to know what the hell the liberals did to cause the fucking police to actually do something. Sitting there watching them is one thing, but doing something is another. Let's read some of these signs real quick. Jews worldwide condemn Israeli bloody brutality. Netanyahu is a war criminal. The occupation of Judaism condemns the state of Israel and its atrocities. Stand with Palestinians' people's resistance. Stop U.S. funding of Israeli apartheid. No denormalization, struggle until liberation. I actually kind of agree with, that the first part of that sign. I hate normalization. I stand on the firm belief of if it ain't normal to begin with, it ain't ever going to be normal. And anything you try to normalize ain't ever going to be normal. It's just going to be artificial. It's just going to be man-made. So I do agree with that, but I don't know what the point of this is. And it looks like he's got some some sort of like web image off the internet. Is that a Jew? Listen, man, if you love Palestine so much and you actually don't think they're horrible people, then how about you just move there? We are deporting millions of people. Who knows? Maybe we can get you a free ticket. We have been saving millions of dollars with Doge. I personally, as an American taxpayer, would be fine with paying your $5,000 transfer fee back there. I mean, I'm personally fine with that. I don't know about other American taxpayers. How about you? Are you fine with that? I mean, we've been saving billions and billions and millions and millions of dollars because of Doge, shutting down all these slush funds. What the hell is a couple $1,000,000 to get rid of these people, yeah? Am I crazy for thinking that, or is that financially viable? Okay, why are they moving in? Are they just like pushing them back? Is that what it is? That way he can walk through there? Yeah, okay. No, I don't see anything illegal going on. Still just looks like a protest. While I don't agree with these guys whatsoever, I don't like them. As you can tell, everything I've just said, they do have a freedom of speech. They're not taking anybody's rights away right now. Yeah, you could say calling for violence, inciting violence. As you saw me, I deliberately read their signs. I didn't see a single one say anything about like killing or blood. They were saying shut it down, but I mean, a lot of people have said shut it down. I mean, there was some January 6 people who also said shut it down. But I mean, shut it down, I think it's just an overplayed combination of words. I don't see anything violent. They're fully within their right. As much as I hate to admit it, let's just continue and see what goes on.
Not disobey him.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
They have the right to say that. I ain't gonna lie, the person on the drums is pretty fucking good. He's on the wrong side, but he's pretty good. Did the police not do anything? Was I just misled? Alright, let's read some more signs. Fight racism, not Iran. I mean, I think both. However, fight racism, what racism? Seriously, like, I think that is a very great and valid question. What racism? You're the only person thinking. I haven't even thought about racism in the last 5 months because, like I said, I've been just trying out the thing. I mean, the only time I think about racism as a paleo-conservative is when I watch a video of you guys. How's that?
No more!
I don't know what that means, and I'm really hoping it's not like a death chant or something, but this guy looks unemployed. Judaism rejects Zionism in the state of Israel. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, it looks like no, the police didn't do anything. I just got misled. It looked like they were gonna do something. You know, from here you see the police, you know, it looks like they're taking something away, but I guess not. I know nothing else about what the hell happened in DC last night, so I kind of just want to go through this timeline just a little bit more and continue to see. I did see this. I haven't reacted to it though. How the hell does that work? Am I supposed to like pretend to react to it?
We have an executive order prepared for your attention that would withdraw the United States from the UN Human Rights Council, would withdraw the United States from the UNRWA, which is a refugee organization. It would also review American involvement in
I do like seeing Trump getting us out of, or having us have less involvement in not just foreign policies in other countries, but in the aid and the finances we send them as well. Because anybody can just say, oh yeah, I got you, I'm not going to end a war, or sorry, I am going to end a war and I won't start a war, right? But then they sit there and they still, fund, right? I mean, that's how a lot of wars have started. That's how Ukraine, well, I mean, that's not how Ukraine started, but I mean, how much money have we sent them? We've been funding it, and that's why it's been dragging on so long. Because we all know without our funding, Ukraine wouldn't stand a chance. So you could argue, because of our funding, we've caused millions more to death. I don't know, man. I really do like seeing it. I really hope we have less government programs, less three-letter agencies, less things our kids have to learn in school about the government. The lesser the better, especially with our kids' attention spans right now. They are going drastically downhill. And the last thing we need is bigger government, more complicated laws, like complicated ass taxes, right? I mean, why do we have to file taxes if they already have our pay stubs and everything? I mean, they're the ones that send it to us, so why are we the ones doing it and then sending it back? And then getting in trouble if we do it wrong. Shouldn't they just do it, right? I don't know. I'm not an economics professor, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I also don't need to be a firefighter to know when there's a fire, right?
Bias. More generally, the executive order calls for a review of American involvement and funding in the UN in light of the
Wait, what was that about the UN? Hold on, let me turn this up.
Involvement and funding in the UN in light of the wild disparities in levels of funding among different countries that, as you've expressed previously, is deeply unfair to the United States.
Yeah, that's great. So essentially what they're saying right there is what conservatives have wanted since Trump's first term. And Trump wouldn't do it in his first term, but now, I mean, with everything at the edge of a precipice, right? With everything at such high stakes, I mean, they tried to kill the dude twice, right? And he, from what I understand, he thought it was worth threatening blowing up Iran with, he didn't say specifically what kind of missiles or if it would be nukes, but he just said there would be nothing left, right? So we can only assume it would be a nuke. An ICBM would be larger than a nuke, and it would affect other countries. So I don't know. Let's see what else Trump has to say.
So I've always felt that the UN has tremendous potential. It's not living up to that potential right now. It really is.
Yeah.
It hasn't for a long time. It has. There are great hopes for it, but
I think we do pay more than any other country funding-wise for the UN. But then again, you could argue it's because of that we have the primary seat at the table. But then, with my argument, I would argue, why do we need the primary seat at the table? If we don't want to be the world police, if we don't want to get involved in everybody's bullshit, right, and we don't want everybody else getting involved in our bullshit, then why do we need to have the biggest seat, the most shiniest seat? Why does anybody need to have the biggest seat in the room, right? Shouldn't we all be equals as countries? I don't know.
it's not being well run, to be honest, and they're not doing.
Yeah.
A lot of these conflicts that we're working on should be settled, or at least we should.
I can't even tell you the last great thing the fucking UN did.
That should be the primary purpose.
Actually, no, I can. The last thing I can remember the UN doing that was good was, I think it was the Ugandan massacre, I think, back in the 80s, late 70s, something like that. I watched the movie about it when I was a kid, and that's the only reason I remember this right now, is the UN played a huge role in that movie in keeping, or maybe it was Rwandan. I don't know, it was some sort of African country. There was some sort of like civil war, a massacre. It was like the Houthis and somebody else. I can't really remember right now. That's the last greatest thing I personally can remember the UN doing. I can't remember anything else the UN has done ever since except talk, and let us solve all their issues, right? They're the UN. Shouldn't they be solving everybody's issues? Not like their own country's issues, but like if there's banter and a disagreement between one another, instead of them sitting here escalating, a war happens and then the UN has to come out with a statement. Why doesn't the UN just get involved and get in between these two countries? Like I was just saying, why does it always have to be the United States at the big seat, right? Why do we have to have the biggest table? It should be the UN that has the biggest seat in the table, because they should be the one fixing and calming down the countries. That's what they're supposed to be. The United Nations. We're supposed to be a peaceful, united front, right?
And nations, and again, it's got great potential, and based on the potential, we'll continue to go along with it, but you gotta get their act together.
Yeah. That's great. He said that because now the UN is going to have to step up, and if they actually step up and do what they're supposed to do without the funding, right, then maybe they will get future funding. I like the way he said that. They're not getting it right now, but hopefully, maybe. Oh, God. This girl looks crazy. Let's see what she has to say. More liberal lunacy.
Oh no! Who is here? Do y'all know who is here? So say it loud and say it clear. BB is not welcome here. 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 BB, you can't.
Border Patrol? Is that what they're saying? BP? Border Patrol?
At this moment, a war criminal is being welcomed into the building behind us. But this is not a surprise.
If he's such a war criminal, what wars has he gotten us started in since he's taken office? Oh, right. None. How many wars did Biden get us put into? 2 that he never ended, right? And let's go back to Trump's first term. There was a war going on. I can't remember specifically what country. I want to say it's Iran. But, you know, the whole ISIS thing. Yeah, he came in, bombed them all, 99.9% of them. They are all gone. And then the last 2 years was just peace. And then your person comes in that you love so much, and he starts 2 wars. Well, he doesn't start 2 wars. He helps fund 2 wars, just like I was saying earlier. These people are insane.
This should not be a shock to us. Both American and Zionist structures of power exist only to maintain a status quo of white supremacy. The current party in office does not mean anything new for how brutal the genocide is enacted.
You do realize a black woman was at the forefront and was literally the Democratic nominee. You do realize that, right? And you do realize Hillary Clinton was also a female. It's not about white men or white people.
On the Palestinian
We had a black president. Did she freaking forget about that already?
people. Democrats lying through their teeth were the
Either the system is as cracked as she says it is.
initiators and full supporters of the escalation of ethnic cleansing in Gaza. However, Trump proudly declares his plans for displacing the population, expanding the territory of America's client state, and building resorts on top of rubble. Right now, Trump and
Wait.
Netanyahu...
Resorts on rubble? What the fuck have I missed? Trump is trying to build a resort. Nah. Nah, they're just crazy, right? Hold on.
Right now, Trump and Netanyahu are discussing how to more efficiently cleanse Gaza of the indigenous population. They've made this goal very clear in public view with...
Well, if you want to talk about ethnic cleansing, first of all, they're not ethnically cleansing anybody. They're not harming anybody. They're just, from what I've heard, they want to relocate the Palestinians outside of Gaza. Don't quote me on that. It's just what I've heard.
No hesitation or shame. They are scrambling for any false image of power.
Hold on, I had another idea.
They are scrambling for any false...
Come on.
Indigenous population. They've made this goal very clear in public view with no hesitation or shame. They are scrambling for any false image of power because for almost 16 months they have not been able to destroy our resistance.
For the past 16 months, they have not been able to destroy your resistance. You do realize that the Israelites, from what I understand, or sorry, I shouldn't call them that. Yeah, that's a biblical thing. I don't think that's what they're called now, right? The people of modern Israel.
For 16 months, they have not destroyed the steadfastness of our people. Not been able to destroy our resistance.
Sorry, I just want to make sure. She said you haven't been able to destroy our resistance. Yeah, okay. That's because they haven't moved in. You do realize that, right? And I think part of that is because I think Palestine controls the tunnels. There's like really old tunnels underneath the Gaza Strip, and so they haven't pushed in. But I see what she's trying to say, but ultimately we don't have to push in with ground troops. They do realize that they have the United States technology behind them, and we've only been teasing them with it, with the Iron Dome and all that. And I know they didn't penetrate it once. That was like last summer, wasn't it?
16 months! They have not destroyed the steadfastness of our people. They have only ensured that we will not stop until total liberation is achieved.
Liberation from what? Please tell me, who do the Palestinians need liberating from? Could somebody please explain that to me? Oh yeah, fuck, I forget. I'm not streaming. It
And
makes no sense.
liberation will not be handed to us.
They're not
Not
in
by
there.
Democrats or Republicans, by quote-unquote non-extreme governments of the Zionist entity, and not by appealing to humanity of war criminals. It will be won solely by the resistance of Palestinians on the ground.
These are the people that are gonna fight? This is our enemy? Hold up. This guy right here, who looks like a pizza delivery boy. This guy down here, I wouldn't even know how to describe him. We got this girl, I don't know what she's doing with her mouth. This is our enemy? One buff guy in this entire crowd. Maybe this dude, but I mean, it's honestly hard to tell. But I mean, any tall bald guy with a beard looks tough, right? From a distance. They're all talk. They ain't gonna do nothing. And even if they did, it wouldn't end very well for them. Yikes. We're getting closer, man. We're getting closer to the end of time. I'm telling you. What is this? Moss, where are the Bebas babies? Oh, that's sad. Damn, that just ruined my whole mood, man. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay, so this is the current sentiment conservatives have. Time to deport these terrorizers, and I'm putting that lightly. Wow. So is this where we're at in the country? Right now? Because if this is the case, then holy shit, we are very, very, very close to the lid popping off of something, you guys. If you guys are gonna know one thing about me, it's that if I have a gut feeling, 89% of the time it's true. It's always turned out to be true. But it feels like I thought we were here, man. But just starting now, just in the last like 30 minutes, we're up here and like the foam is coming over both sides. I don't know. It ain't looking too good. I do worry about the civility of this country. Hold on. She looks mad. You know in those movies when anytime they want the love interest or the main actress to like be pissed and like have a girl boss moment, they're in their high heels going down like a long hallway with ceramic tiles. You just hear that. That's the exact kind of vibe I get from AOC, man. She's such a diva.
And he has previewed this for some time now. Jared Kushner and Donald Trump have kind of floated this for some time. We have known that this is Trump's plan for the Gaza Strip. It is horrific. It is the definition of ethnic cleansing. It is part of the culmination of what I view to be genocide of the Palestinian people. And
wait, hold on. How is it genocide if we're just relocating them? Did I read a story wrong? Are we actually talking about hurting these people? Hold on. I'm going to look that up right after this.
This is genuinely one of the most horrific humanitarian catastrophes that we've seen in modern history. And he
Damn, I didn't know this was so serious. Everybody in DC looks on edge, man. I'm telling you. When I get a gut feeling, dude, it feels like we're right here. I didn't know it was this bad. I really do wish I would have got over my sadness and my depression and built up my confidence like 5 months ago and just straight got into this. Because honestly, it kind of scares me. I already thought we were really close to the end days, which is a topic for another day. I didn't think I wanted to get into that. However, seeing the biggest beast of them all, because in the Bible, I just learned this last year, the beast, right, is actually the nations that control mostly everything. So that's going to be your America, Russia, China, maybe the UK, maybe Britain. Yeah, actually, yeah, it should probably be Britain, right? Egypt, possibly. Israel, I don't know. I didn't think it was this bad. It's scary. Very, very scary stuff. I might have to make a video then. Because if this is where we're already at, and I've had this inclination, this idea for the last 5 years, right? Buried inside my head, and when this idea started, I did everything to pretend like it wasn't true, but just like how I said, when I get a gut feeling, it usually is true, 89-90% of the time, right? And it relates to the end of times, and over the last 5 years, we've gotten closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to this idea of mine actually turning out to be a real possibility. And if this is the current state of where we're at, if this is the current state of what's going on in the Middle East, I might need to make my video fucking as soon as possible before people start to get the same idea as me, honestly. Because I've had this idea for 5 years now, and I would hate to see such a huge, unique, and complex sort of idea go to waste. Just for it to be stolen by another streamer. Let's just see what else. I did want to mostly talk about this Hamas tab. This looked the most important to me. Is that Alright, great. So now we got anime nerds protesting. Jesus. Alright, let's get to something else, yeah? Palestine is not for sale. Nobody said anything about buying it. We just said we coming in hot. That's all we said. We're not even knocking on the door. We're not even asking the price of the house. We coming in with a battering ram. Deportation. I'm being rude. What is this?
To kill Israelis at a local hospital. She knew the hospital well, as doctors there once treated her.
I brought with me the video
of
when you were going to blow yourself up when you were caught. How do you feel watching this now?
Like shit, right? Horrible,
Hard to
right?
watch?
I am very proud of this. I hope time will come and I will live again the moments in which I was tasting and smelling paradise.
Wafa was sentenced to 12 years in jail, but now is home in Gaza.
I'm sorry, but if any leader, whether it be God or your boss, says to kill yourself for them, they're not a good leader. Because you gotta ask yourself, would that God kill himself for you? Huh? Something to think about, right?
Part of a prisoner exchange. Over the past 2 months, Israel released 1,000 Palestinian militants in return for one captured Israeli soldier. She leaves her house.
Honestly, man, that made my fucking stomach sick. You might actually be able to hear it. Oh no, it ain't making a sound right now, but that made my stomach sick hearing her say that was fucking paradise. Cause like I've seen I've seen dark web videos, right? That's not paradise, man. That's fucking horrifying. Let's just scroll a little bit more, see what else everybody else has to say. Fox News is talking about it. Let's see what Fox
he wants
News.
one thing, and that's the art of peace. I think that should be his next chapter. And this is a big step towards that. There is nobody who will be better, as we've seen. And just look at what he's done since we've been in. It's been so fast and so rapid that even the left-wing media can't keep up with how much good we're doing. And that's what we need in America.
Conservatives, we got to be careful with that sort of optics. The good we're doing, we got to be a little careful about that.
We're going to help. We're going to have collaborative help. We're going to do things such as tell people that we will tariff you if you're taking advantage of America. And
yep, that's the way they should be. I said this in my last stream. Tariffs aren't a horrible thing because tariffs is how you resolve situations peacefully. It's how people don't die, right?
Then we will work together because the end result and the end goal is one
Threats
thing. And that's
always
the
lead
truth.
to war. The only time threats did not lead to a war that I can remember, I'm sure there was like other times, maybe in the Bronze Age, Silver Age, maybe the kingdoms were bitching at each other and were like, oh, I'll fuck you up, and they just never did, right? I'm sure there's lots of cases like that.
And this is something we've talked about ad nauseum every day since we've gotten in. Let's make the world better by making America stronger. And we've seen that that works, and it works under President Trump.
Okay, I just wanted to finish hearing what she has to say, but the only time I can remember is the Cold War. That's the only time I can remember countries literally threatening total annihilation, and nobody died that we know of. Now, what about CIA operatives? What about the CIA operatives who were trying to kill, what's his name? How the fuck do I forget that guy's name? Fidel Castro. How the fuck did I forget that? They tried to kill him. Were they successful? No, but if I remember right, he did die of like a cancer or something later on in life, or like heart or something. Actually, I should probably look that up and correct myself, just super duper quick. Natural causes. But now you gotta ask yourself, who did the autopsy on his body? Was it an American doctor who would tell you the truth? Or was it a state-sponsored communist doctor who is going to do whatever the state said? That way to prevent mass panic, right? If we assume no conspiracy theories, then you could make the argument that we didn't kill anybody and that is a good case, right? But if we go a little conspiratorial, on the conspiratorial side, you could argue that he did eventually end up getting assassinated. I mean, it says he died in his sleep at 90, so I mean, who knows? Maybe he did die naturally. But from what I know, if the American government has their eyes on you, typically their eyes never get taken off of you. That's crazy. I can't believe I actually lived that long. Huh, I didn't know that. Anyways, let's get back on topic. We listen to what the art of the deal. Wait, what? What is this guy on about? Art of the deal. Phase 1, Palestinians refuse to get rid of Hamas. No peace. Trump. Phase 2, Trump announces Palestinian relocation. Phase 3, Palestinians get rid of Hamas. Peace. Brilliant. Yeah, I agree. You could say it is a bit of a genius move. I don't really want to see what they're all saying. This afternoon they withdrew. We told you from day one it was never about Hamas. Wait, what? What's this guy talking about? The plan all along, allow October 7th. Duh, we already knew that. Prep the building site. What is this building site? A resort? What the hell is everybody going on about here? Gaza Riviera? What? Yep, I guess he is talking about colonizing Gaza. Yo, Trump, what the hell happened to America first and stay out of wars, dude? What the hell's going on here, man? What's going on? So, but then again, that's 4Bs. do I trust Forbes? I don't know. Annex the West Bank, ethnically cleanse the land, make Gaza a seafront resort, Greater Israel destroy Al-Aqsa, I don't know how to pronounce that, and build their temple. Are people starting to realize? The next conspiracy guy, but if Gaza becomes part of Israel, then it all seems all plain to question why did Hamas fall for the bait. I think they are actually on to what I was going to be possibly talking about tomorrow. I think I really do need to make this video. It's what I've been thinking about for the last 5 years, and something tells me these guys are on the right track to figuring it out. And so I need to do something about that. Because you see, the war in Gaza has always been about fulfilling prophecy and destroying the sovereignty of nations. Because just like how I said earlier, the beast is the nations with an S, right? And they want to convince everybody to become a one world government. Now, I could have told you this back in, I think it was early 2020. Because there was 5 red heifers that were born, and there was no blemishes, there was nothing wrong with them, they were absolutely perfect, and so back in 2020, I could have told you they were going to start this war before they even were thinking about financially funding Israel against Hamas. Because as soon as I realized there was 5 red calves, we were pretty close to the end times. I don't know if you guys have read the Bible or not. I'm not exactly a full-on Christian or a Catholic or a full-on believer, but I'm very close, I'd say. But the red heifers have to be alive for a certain amount of time just to make sure it is true and there is no defects that form over time. And then they're essentially going to be sacrificed right outside the third temple that gets built. They're going to become ashes. These ashes essentially purify the land. Israel maybe even purify the temple. They can also purify specific individuals too. That happened in the Old Testament, or was it the Old Testament? It did happen in the Bible. The red heifers can cleanse people, I do believe. Yeah, I could have told you all that back in 2020. This is why they've been trying to go to Israel. This is why they've been doing all this. And it's actually much, much bigger than this, and that plays into the video I want to make. And you know what? I think I'm gonna fucking make it now. Because if these guys is what's considered famous, you know, streamers, content creators here on X, and I know something they don't, and something I've seen for 5 years now that they still can't fucking see, then Jesus Christ. Maybe I just need to bite the bullet and make the fucking video. But no, you can also kind of prove that America and Israel kind of wanted all this to happen, right? Let's just think about a timeline. Israel didn't do anything back then, but I remember in 2005, 2006, right around there, when I was still a small child, Hamas had the opportunity to have control over the Gaza Strip, but they didn't take it. Instead, they just wanted to be terrorizers, right? And I'm putting that word lightly. And then we get to 2020, you got the 5 red heifers, right? And right then and there, I could have told you what was going to happen. And then 2 months, or maybe it was 3 months. 3 months, yeah, I think it was about 3 months before the October 7th. So that would have been September 7th, August 7th, July 7th. Netanyahu, right around that time, went before the UN, and he was actually trying to convince them to give up the Gaza Strip or help him take it. I can't remember specifically what his words were, so I don't want to like put words in his mouth, but he essentially was talking about generally taking action against, not really like directly against Hamas, but just taking the Gaza Strip, making a huge power move, hopefully with no casualties. And I knew with all this sort of talk he made there at the UN, and the sort of talk he was making for 2-3 months afterwards, that he was trying to bait Hamas into doing something. And then we get to, you know, October 7th, and then when they raided Israel, right? The gates were completely unmanned. Nobody was guarding them. And even when they broke through the fences, right? Nobody rushed in there. There was very, very, very few, if I remember right, Israel police stationed near there and people that actually went there. It was a full-on slaughter. So, I mean, you can argue that they did want it to happen. Is it horrifying and horrible? Yes. Do I condemn it? Obviously. Do I think Hamas is horrible? Yes. But do I think Israel are great and exceptionally moral people for doing that? If that is why they're doing it, right, is to have a justification to take the Gaza Strip to rebuild the third temple for their own religious ideas, right? If that really is it, then I don't know if I can give them all the respect I tried giving Israel for these last couple years. Because it sounds to me like they're just the lesser of two evils at this point. They're just gooder, they're better, they're not the best. They're better than the other option. The other option is a fucking no-brainer. Why the hell would you ever want to side with them? I mean, these are the good guys, but at the same time, they're not completely good. And so, I don't know, man. And then October 7th happens, and then these last 3 years has just all been posturing. It's all been, we're better than you. Oh, look at you. You're attacking us. You're burning our babies. You're burning our flags. You're R-wording our woman, right? You're graping, I'm going to say that with a G, you know, graping our woman, right? You're doing all these things, and they were sitting there baiting them into attacking them for like 3-4 years straight, and, you know, we had the Iron Dome, and that was the perfect thing Israel could have asked for, because then they could just talk all the shit they want, get all the missiles shot at them all they want, never have to worry, and it only helps them. They never have to lift a finger, they never have to fire a bullet, they never have to do anything. So, like, I get it. Very, very smart plan, but just because you're smart don't mean you're a good person. Something to think about. And so, yeah, for the last, like, 4 years, we've just been posturing. That's really what it was. And so now we're at a point where everybody realizes the Democrat Party failed. They don't know what they're doing. Trump is now in office. He knew what he was doing from 2016 to 2020. We all believe in him. He's doing all these great things now. Let's believe in him this time. And I don't know about all that. I really don't. But, yeah, this is where we're at. He's going to be giving Gaza. And then if the theory is correct, he is going to be building the third temple. And it is with the third temple that the end times is going to begin. We're going to get the Battle of Armageddon. We're going to get to, end times. Battle of Armageddon. Jesus coming down from the skies. The mark of the beast in the form of, like, an optical eye or 666 on your head or whatever it may be. Mark of the beast may even just be the dollar bill with the Illuminati sign on it, right? Who knows? That's the end times. When as soon as they build that third temple and they sacrifice those red heifers, it's over. We're in it, and there's no turning back. So we got to be really, really careful who controls that Gaza Strip, and I just want to make sure you guys trust the people you think you trust. I'm not going to say too much more until my video tomorrow. But if you want to know more about, like, the heifers, the red heifers, then I recommend the Book of Numbers. That's what I read. That's where I know them from. I don't know if they're anywhere else in the Bible. But yeah, listen, this is how I feel. I feel like a 25-year-old at a candy store, right? And these guys, these famous content creators, they're like 5-year-olds. You know, I'm 20 years older. They're like 5-year-olds compared to me. And they're coming into the candy store, they're getting that Snickers bar for the very first time, and they're jumping up and down, they're all crazy, and they pay for it, and they open up the wrapper, and they smash half the candy bar in half, you know, in their mouth, and they just sit there and they keep chewing and chewing and chewing, and they're just full of glee, and you're just sitting there like, first time? That's exactly how I feel when I read things like this. Like, first time? So like, they're focused on this. For the last 5 years, my theory's been this, but here, I'll top you guys off on everything. You know what? I know what people are going to be talking about here in about 10, 15, 20 days. And so just to prove it, I'll go ahead and say it right now. What everybody's going to be talking about and what people are going to be hyper-focused on here in about 20 days, maybe 30, is there's going to be 4 great celestial events happening in the next year. There is going to be 3 blood moons in exactly 1 year, 365 days, right? And this first blood moon is next month. It's exactly 2 weeks before a Jewish festival. I can't remember exactly which one, because the Jewish festival names are they're a bit weird, right? Complicated for me. And then the second one is going to be in September, I believe. The third one again is going to be in March of next year. And then right after that blood moon, I believe that one is going to come in Purim, which is another Jewish festival. All these Jewish festivals, also the one in September, there's another Jewish festival in September, I believe. And then so we got these 3 blood moons happening this year. And then we're going to have a 4th celestial event right after the 3rd blood moon. We're going to have a 4th one. And it is going to be a total eclipse. Total blackout. Total darkness. So, if you're a smart person, if you're an abstract thinker, and you can read between the lines, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, right? I mean, we got all these crazy things happen in Israel. That's going to happen this year. I mean, dude, we're going to war with either Hamas or ourselves at this fucking point. Just with these videos I've been watching the last 45 minutes. I didn't even think this is an hour. I didn't think I was going to be doing this. What? Oh my god. But I worry these 2 things are going to be playing hand in hand. Everything we are doing in Israel, possibly building the 3rd temple, and these 3 blood moons followed by a total eclipse, total darkness. Now, I don't know if you read the Bible, but when I was in jail, I read the Bible a lot. And I remember one verse specifically, and that is Luke 21:25. I want to say it's about 5 long, so maybe 25 to 30. He discusses, essentially, Luke discusses God shows us signs in the form of celestial events. That's how he speaks to us. And for a very, very long time, we have ignored it. And I can go ahead and provide some examples. If I remember right, the total eclipse means it is bad for idolizers, I believe. Or maybe that's the blood moon. But essentially the moons, the eclipses, crescent moons, everything, they're all hidden messages. Just like angel numbers, 777, 666, or I shouldn't have said that, my bad. 555, right? These great angel numbers, it's a lot like that. If you want to know more, I highly recommend you go read Luke 21:25. If you want, I'll just say fuck it, look it up for you right now. 21. I don't know what kind of Bible you guys read. I'm just going to click on the first one we see. I'm not biased or anything in my denominations or my faith. I'm just trying to get to the quickest verse. Let's go ahead and read the full chapter. Boy, I don't know if I should get into this right now. I should be saving this for tomorrow's video. Alright. And he looked up, And he saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. And he said, Of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. For all these have their abundance cast in unto the offerings of God, but she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had. And as some spake of the temple, how it was ordained or adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down, right? So if we're looking here in the 21 to 1 verses 1 through 4, let's just say he's essentially talking about how this widow who's poor, who has nothing, even though she gave less material, she still gave more because she gave more. And I know this isn't correct, okay? Don't take this literally, but in my perspective, she gave it like a piece of her soul. Like, she was willing to give more of herself, like more of her. It meant a lot more to give everything you had versus to give a little bit of something you had, right? And so that's the lesson we can learn here. But that's not why I brought you guys here today. Let's just go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Here we go. And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. These are the beasts we were talking about earlier. Great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be there from heaven. But before all these they shall lay their hands on you, and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Something to think about, you guys. And it shall turn you to a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. Let's go ahead. Let's go down a little bit. Okay. Where are we at? Here we go. Luke 21 verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is high. The desolation, the abomination of the desolation, it's the desolation of abomination, is essentially the nuking of Israel. That's essentially what it is from my research. The abomination of desolation, it's going to cause warts. It's going to cause a lot of cancer caused by radioactiveness. There's going to be nothing left except dust and bones. Everybody in Israel is going to flee to the mountain. I believe it's Mount Sinai. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong about that. But Mount Sinai, I believe, if I remember right, and I am probably wrong, they go up to the mountain from Israel to Mount Sinai where Moses saw God, and that is where they are protected, and they have to stay up there. I don't know if that last part is true, though. It could just be me. I haven't been in politics for like 5-6 months. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about right now, okay? Anyways, let's move on. Then let them which there in Judea flee to the mountains, and flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Very, very important. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck. That's honestly a weird thing to say. In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. We're almost to the good part. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Here we are. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress the nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So essentially, you could make the argument that these blood moons is God's sign of what's about to happen, and that men's hearts failing them for fear could be the current predicament us as American civilization, or as an American society, are currently in, right? And looking for those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. What this sounds to me is like that third temple, right? And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That's Jesus coming down, in the cloud, right? I don't know, guys. Listen, you guys are down here. If you guys want something to be hyper focused on, or you want something, you want to be able to talk about something that nobody's going to talk about for another 20-30 days, and you want to be the first one, go ahead and steal my idea. Just start talking about the blood moons, man. Anyways, let's move on. Oh yeah, CIA. Okay, so he actually did.
Fox News alert, the Wall Street Journal is reporting the CIA has reportedly just offered a buyout to its entire workforce. Everyone in the agencies telling employees late today they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. It's a part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government. More as we get it. Fox News alert, the Wall Street Journal is reporting the CIA
it's a great thing.
has reported...
It's a great thing. I love seeing it. Limited government. It's exactly what we want as a paleoconservative. Limited government. One less three-letter agency we have to deal with. I mean, think about it, you guys. No more human trafficking, no more child trafficking, no more trafficking in general, no more assassinations, no more like JFK and Trump, right? And that's probably why Trump just did this. We got no more funding terrorists like Osama bin Laden. We got no more funding cartels like MS-13 and helping their drugs and helping their drug market and their distribution market. The CIA, yeah. No more of that. No more kidnappings, no more spying. Man, when I was a kid, I used to call the CIA the criminal institution of assassinations. I don't know why, but I used to. Anyways, that's really it. Essentially, they all got bought out. I wonder if there was any, like, pictures of the CIA today. Damn. I was really hoping somebody would, like, take a picture of like an empty CIA headquarters. I guess what they have here, but I mean that's really just for their publicity. It's just PR and marketing. So, nah. All right. Yep, CIA gone. Thank God, right? Here's a story I wanted to get into. El Salvador offers to lock up U.S. criminals in its mega jail. Okay. El Salvador has offered to take in criminals deported from the United States, including those with United States citizenship, and house them in its mega jail. The deal was announced after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele during his visit to the Central American nation. Bukele, whose iron fist approach to gains has won him plaudits from voters, has been heavily criticized by human rights groups, said he had offered the U.S. the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. Fuck that, dude. Well, no, like, it's a great thing, but, I would hate to be a normal guy that came in here illegally and then now you're going straight to the big boy pen. I mean, hey, if that's what we gotta do. Let's see, what else did they say? Referring to two Rubio added criminals from any nationality, be the MS-13 or Trendy Aragua. Wow, so they're even willing to take the worst of the worst. I fucking love it, dude. Fuck yeah. We're willing to take in only convicted criminals, okay, including convicted U.S. citizens. What? No. Oh my god. I'll give you guys a jail story. When I was in jail, we would talk about like how jail isn't that bad, you know, we're still getting our PB&Js and our cereal in the morning. It is what it is. Oh, this is baby time. I'm smoking poop right when I get out of here, if you know what that is. Like, just a horrible attitude, and that's why we got this huge recidivism rate. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And so they would also talk about like, oh, it's so we have it so well here. You know, we got toothbrushes, toothpaste, toilet paper. We got all this. Overseas, man, it's horrible. You don't want to go over there. Be glad you're right here. This is exactly how they talk to you in jail, man. No. I think this is a great thing, because now those same people who think they can just commit a crime, go do baby time, get right back out, rinse and repeat, they ain't gonna be doing it now. Because you fuck up and you get deported and you go back overseas, it's gonna be a long time before you come back, if you come back. And so this might be the deterrence, I believe that's the word, to deter, right? The deterrence. I feel like this is a great example. And maybe we should. I think genius idea. 2 genius ideas. I got 2 fucking genius ideas. Why don't we send all sex offenders to the mega prison in El Salvador? What does everybody have to say about that? Second, what if we send the FBI there? The same people that wanted to raid our homes, the same people that wanted to be parked outside our houses in black vans and spy on us without our permission, the same people that wanted to arrest us in public and, you know, like, make an example out of us, right? I don't know if you guys heard this, but I saw this yesterday. That's why I'm not reacting to it today. But supposedly the FBI is suing, I don't know specifically who, but to keep their names hidden. Well, I think, why the fuck should your names be hidden? Like, how the hell are we gonna sue? And that's why I actually made this post, right here. Right here.
They are literally filing a lawsuit.
I said, if a government doesn't allow you to sue for damages they caused, then they already have failed as an effective government with its sole duty to the people. If the government doesn't want to be involved and stand on business, then that's fine, because the American people will. And what I mean by that is, dude, do you know how many internet sleuths are out there? They have been trying with max censorship on Twitter now to be hiding the names of the Doge kids. Or I shouldn't call them kids, they're over the age of 18. The Doge teenagers, or, sorry, the Doge young adults, right? They've been max censorship, and Doge and Elon obviously have full control over X, yet you still see their names all over X. So how the hell So like, no, if the people want to find the names, the people are gonna find the names, and they're gonna sit there and they're gonna share it millions of times, and you're not gonna be able to get rid of it. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and actually watch this video real quick.
Can you believe that? They're filing a lawsuit to keep their names private.
Let me get some more light in here.
My name wasn't kept private. I didn't get the luxury of having my name to be private. No, they shared my name with the world. They shared my name with the media. They called the media, raided my house in public, so that there was great optics. They're gonna sue now to keep their names quiet? Well, how am I gonna sue them if I don't know who they are? That is not fair.
Yeah,
They
it's not
hunted
fair
us
at all.
down. They surveilled my house with a black van. They listened to my conversations. They
Yep.
violated my life. They took my things, and now they want to hide and file a lawsuit? Must be nice. Wish we could file a
Yeah,
lawsuit.
rules for thee, but not for me, man. I really like this chick. I've been trying to find like people on X, people who aren't well known to follow. And this chick, man, she hits everything right on the fucking nail.
Lawsuit for their abuse, and we will.
Yep, all of us.
Terrible.
We need to do a millions of people class action lawsuit. How about that? But here's what I'm saying. Here's a hot take. Why don't we deport the FBI? 400 years ago, we hung traitors, didn't we? Am I right or am I wrong? We would take them out of the jail, put them up on the noose, the wooden platform, put the noose around their head, we pull the lever, everybody watches, everybody turns around, everybody goes back to their home, cooks dinner, eats, has a great night's sleep. That's what we did 400 years ago. You want to call yourself fucking terrified? Huh, buddy, be glad you live in the fucking time you live in, dude. So no, I really do think maybe we should just deport them. If we can't sue them and they're going to get away with it and they're already traitors, right? Jordan, you can't say they're traitors. You don't have any proof of that. Okay, well, if they didn't do anything traitorous, what are they so scared of? Huh? That's a great fucking question, is it not? They're so scared, right? Why? Why are they suing to keep their names hidden? If they're so scared, or sorry, if they're not scared, and then why are they scared of having their names revealed? Here, essentially, the question I'm trying to say is the reason why they're scared is because they know they will lose a lawsuit if all the case and evidence gets subpoenaed by the judge, right? And all the evidence comes out, they're fucked, and they know it. And they don't want to move countries. They don't want to do any of that, and so they're just begging to keep their names hidden. That's essentially what it is. I was trying to set it up in a form of a fucking question, but I failed miserably. Hey, this is my first time, okay? Leave me alone. But yeah, so, I think this is really cool. I wonder if there's anything else. But yeah, I think that's great. They're going to be setting a great precedent. We need this, especially for young kids right now. I just watched a video of like 5 white boys robbing another white boy in his car. They all like jumped in his car and like held 4 guns at him. Crazy. So, yeah, no, we need it. The newly built maximum security jail he referred to, Kikot, Terrorism Confinement Center. Huh. How convenient. They just built a terrorism confinement chamber. And, we have a lot of people that could definitely go in there with them. Am I right, guys? Anyways, enough of that. I want to move on. I told you guys at the beginning of this, I'm not going to ramble, and I feel like I'm rambling. Drake. Yeah, let's see what the fuck Drake's got to say. Oh, what? I thought that was just the background. Is that actually his hoodie? It is. Drake is the only artist in today's era who can go up against the entire music industry and still remain relevant. He continues to be the most streamed and consistently sells out shows. All memes aside, you gotta respect greatness. Is it really greatness if all you do is steal flows? Is it really greatness if all you do is steal lyrics? Is it really greatness if your art is ghost written, your lyrics are ghost written? I mean, is it really even art at that point if you're just spending money to take shortcuts? I would argue no. Me personally, no. I think Drake has spent he's built his entire career riding waves, ripping off other artists. Do I like some of his songs? Yeah, sure. But one of the bad things I just mentioned, I'm sure probably helped to make the song. I'm sure the song was ghostwritten, or the song had something else wrong with it. I'm sorry if you guys hear that. My cat is in heat right now. Ugh, right? Hold on. Hey, shut up! Alright, let's move on. Alright, we got Sneeko.
Yeah, and I actually don't agree at all. I mean,
I've only seen this guy one time, but he's very opinionated, I'd say, and he reminds me of some people I had to fight back in my day. that's all.
Yeah, and I actually don't agree at all. I mean, I am going to the Super Bowl, but I think Drake is totally vindicated in how he feels about the industry turning on him. I think with the Grammys, it was weird. I don't think Kendrick deserved the Grammy.
I will agree with that. Nobody deserves 4 Grammys for a single fucking song. I don't care, dude. No.
And I'm actually really excited to see Drake.
Because that's 3 Grammys that 3 other artists who might have actually had their careers changed now can't. And Kendrick's just sitting there all like being a fucking passive-aggressive diva or some shit. Like, no, don't take me wrong. I'm on Kendrick's side, but at the same time, I feel like Kendrick just be... He doing a little too much. I will agree with that.
Drake come back from all this. Because he was right. Dr. Dre high-fiving Lucy and Grange. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. They're just doing it because Drake has been winning, so that's literally the only reason. But you look at it, think about...
What has Drake been winning? Did I miss something?
Think about this. The irony. Think about this. The irony of everyone at the Grammys who have all been to Diddy parties yelling, A minor!
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. Everybody in the music industry, Hollywood industry, everybody, a lot of people in just the art industry, too. Yeah, you don't hear about it a lot, but yeah, even in there.
Like, everyone at the Grammys, you fuck minors. You were all at the Diddy baby oil parties, and you're accusing Drake of doing what you do. And people think Drake is crazy for suing or thinking the industry's turning on him.
And it's like, while I do agree with Sneeko, the people Drake had around him, though, they also were the kind of people at the Diddy parties, weren't they? I mean, Meek Mill was one. We all know how that turned out. Meek Milk, as Jaguar Wright puts it.
Because he's been #1 for so long, and it gets under their skin. They can't stand that they can't compete with him. No friends in the industry. When Drake makes his comeback and really gets revenge on people, I'm gonna.
I mean, I agree mostly with Sneeko's take right there. Yeah, and it actually helped change my mind a little bit. Let's see what's going on with Drake. They thought Einstein was lying, and Shakespeare was barely rhyming, and Edison wasn't lit despite what he was designing. So how can I give a fuck what they say about my stars aligning? Okay. But then again, those are 4 very easy rhymes, and all you gotta do is just try to, like, figure out a story that can connect. You're making, like, a quarter of a poem, if that makes sense, right? Talent? Catchy? Yeah. I would say, yeah. Drake going crazy. Damn, he he looks fucking shot, dude. No, I'm not even talking physically. No, I mean I'm talking his emotions. Look at his face. He looks like somebody who like gave up a long time ago and doesn't want to be here. Man, that's fucking sad. I can just see it, dude. I really hope Drake's okay. I honestly feel bad for... and I feel bad now, talking all that shit about Drake last year. I will talk just a little bit more shit, though. I just want to... I had an idea, and I do want to say that maybe he should have had 365 bullet holes for every day. Not Like Us has been out. Just saying. It is really cool, though. Okay. I did get some more respect from Drake today. Anyways, let's move on. This just happened. Trump signs no men in women's sports executive order. Holy fuck. We have been asking for this since 2015. Since 2016, we have been asking for this. Holy hell, Donald Trump, thank you. Finally. Why didn't you do it your first term? I don't know. But thank God you did it now. President Trump on Wednesday signed the No Men in Women's Sports executive order, fulfilling one of his major campaign promises. Well, let's just not forget, it took Biden 4 years to keep his student loan debt forgiveness promise. And he didn't even forgive it all, like he said he was going to. So, let's just compare the two. 2 weeks in office versus 4 years and half-assed it. Whose side are you on? This doesn't have to be long, it's all common sense. Trump said before signing the order, adding that women's sports will only be for women. God does exist, ladies and gentlemen. Gaines, who hosts Outkicks Gaines for Girls podcast, was among the champions of fairness of women's sports after her experience. Yeah, I heard about that against Leah Thomas. Yep, cool. President Trump pledged to restore the common sense to our country, and he's continuing to deliver on with an executive order that he will sign later today. Yes, common sense, the party of common sense. This common sense action from President Trump ends the disgusting betrayal of women and girls by previous administrations, who's for years catered to radical activists who wanted biological males to be treated as women in workplaces, showers, I would even say bathrooms, competitive sports, prisons, and even grape shelters. Gender ideology, insanity is over. Can we bring back mental institutions? People, please. Is that the next step? Wow, that was it. It really is short. I mean, I'm not going to give you guys a 15-minute reaction to that. I mean, that's fucking great. That's all we need to know. Let's move on. What did I have going on over here? I don't even know what's going on. Did I really just scroll down? So something's going on with Social Security. The Social Security Administration has terminated its contract for the Gender X Initiative marker. What does that mean? Removed all references to gender ideology from public-facing applications. What you mean to tell me we were spending $1 million just to have the transgender box on there? You're fucking... Yeah, I think that is what it is. We were spending $1 million just to have that box there. Are you kidding me? Who the hell is running this website, dude? Introduced a bill to exempt senior citizens from taxes on Social Security retirement payments. Yo, Thomas Massey. Okay, bud. Okay. Thumbs up. Or heart. Dude, that's fucking awesome. I love all these great new ideas we're all coming up with. And see, this is why I love the conservative side, man. You guys, we just come up with ideas and solutions all fucking day long while liberals just sit there and bitch about abortion for 50 years. Jesus Christ. 10,000 illegals using the same exact social security number voted in the Arizona 2020 presidential election. I believe it. I do. Additionally, through illegal immigration, your corrupt government is sitting on a $1.7 trillion slut fund. Let's see what this guy has to say.
You bring them in. They sign a piece of paper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit of an odd situation. So because I took 8 hours too long to fucking make this stream, I have to go take my girlfriend to work. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll come back. We'll do a second stream on top of this one. We'll finish everything out here. I'll go ahead and spend tonight editing it. And then I will try to just do it in the morning. And I will have one stream to upload to YouTube every single day until I actually feel like streaming. And we'll be doing a streaming rather than a recording sort of way. Alright? I will be back. You guys will just be seeing me in the next live stream. I'll be putting both of them up on YouTube right back to back. So, as this one's ending, go watch the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to apologize and say no, I have not just been sitting here on my ass being nervous for 2 hours. I got home about 2 hours ago. I was watching my first stream, realized I was doing really well for somebody who's nervous, but the audio still isn't where I want it to be. So I went ahead, put a sock on my mic, did some, playbacks. Sounds better. We're gonna find out at the end of this. Where we left off was Trump passed an executive order banning men from being in women's locker rooms, women's bathrooms, women's sports specifically, and most importantly, and other private places meant just for women, right? Great. And then we were moving on. I reacted to the online social security number application. They removed the transgender stamp. Fucking amazing, man. Can I get an amen? We were watching this video though, and I wanted to go ahead and finish. We obviously still have an hour of stuff to discuss. How I was supposed to have this done 11 hours ago, and I still don't. It's not laziness. I can tell you that. I promise. It's not laziness. Anyways, let's get into it.
Illegal. You bring them in. They sign a piece of paper promising to pay taxes. What they get is a social security number.
Yeah.
So the employers can take out the taxes. Put a pin in that. Here's what they do.
Is the
in
IRS
cities
just
like
running
this,
them all through one then? Is that what's going on?
let's think of a chicken processor.
I don't see the joke in that, but we're probably just missing the context.
They will bring in hundreds of illegals. They will spread them out across all of these plants and factories, giving them jobs. They're all using the same social security number.
Okay.
The IRS unconnected our names from the social security number.
So they don't even know their real names?
Now when you look it up, it just pings to see if there's an employer.
Okay.
If there is, it says it's good, it validates it. Why do they do that? Because all of these factories are giving them social security numbers. The government turns its back on it. As soon as you have a social security number and you go over to motor voter, pass the driver's test, right? You get a driver's license. The person looks, you got a social, you must be a citizen. That's how they pack the rolls. By the way, those guys don't pay taxes anyway. It's taken out by companies. Our government's been sitting on $1.7 trillion slush fund that one fund has still in it to this day. So if you want to know where the dark money comes from. By the way, that's what, $100 million in a month in...
What's this guy's name?
Interest. I could go on.
These are the kind of people we need in office, man.
Understand this is why they tried to kill us.
Yeah.
And it's not stuff I wanted to know. It's not stuff I wanted to know about my country.
Yeah, it's not stuff any of us want to know. And honestly, conspiracies, like, it didn't really achieve, like, cult, or what's the term? Cult classic? Yeah, it wasn't like even a cult classic sort of mainstream until like the 80s, the Reagan era. But I mean, in the 60s, people started to get a little conspiratorial, right? I mean, we had Nixon, and then we had JFK getting assassinated by, I'll leave that up to you. And then we get to the 70s, 70s are the 70s, and then we get to the 80s, and then that's when people like really started digging. They started to like look at secret societies, this, and that. And I think that's when like Blood, Money, and Power came out, if I'm not mistaken. Great book, by the way. And then like in the 80s, we finally get like a cult following for conspiracies, and then from the 80s to now, it's been just growing in popularity. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is the whole entire time, I think, sorry, where's my hands? The whole entire time, right? I think people have just wanted to ignore it. We haven't wanted to accept it. That's really what it is. It's dark. It's not pleasant for conversation. It's not something people like to think about. Just knowing something can ruin your happiness. It can keep you up at night, right? And these sort of things, normal people don't like to think about. However, we're getting to a point where we have to think about it, or it's just going to be a shit show. Really.
It's not stuff I believed.
Yeah. So,
but we have a uniparty. We don't have multiple parties. Everybody's benefited from this at one time or another.
Damn. I wanted to watch more, man. I really like this guy. I want to know his name. What's his name? Of course, nobody's going to say it. I'm going to have to go through the comment later and try to figure out this guy's name. Let's go to the next. Term limits. What the fuck is he doing in a wheelchair? When was this photo taken? Breaking. Senate Mitch McConnell has fallen yet again at the U.S. Capitol. I shouldn't have laughed. But Jesus, dude. Yeah. Okay. I understand why people are saying term limits now. This is at least the second time. Yeah. I heard about the last one too. He can no longer walk or speak. Term limits. Oh boy. Hold up.
Arts and cooperation and a string of
That is so sad.
of arts and cooperation and a string of
Yeah, look, you can just tell right here. Sorry, I just want to watch this the second time because it's the second time when you notice the little details, right? The second he trips up, you can see the older woman, I don't know who this is, she immediately steps in, looks around like, hey, guys, is this the time? Do we get out of here? Or, like, do we get him out of here? Or do we just let him cook? And that's literally what's going through her mind. She's staring right into his soul. I mean, just watch her body language and watch how they all look at her, react to her the way she's looking at them.
of arts and cooperation and a string of
Never mind. I think she was just walking up to him. Ignore what I said. Dude, just look at him. He looks like a sad turtle. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. Alright guys, show's over. Thanks for coming. Everybody starts clapping. Yay, you're the best. Yeah, let's go back to the nursing home. Let's go back. It's time for your meds. This way. This way. This way, Joe number 2.
Hearts in cooperation.
Somebody come get their grandpa, man. Is that all it was? Oh, they got a video of the fall. No way. Okay, let's see it. What was that? What was he reaching for? Because if he's reaching for salvation, he ain't gonna find it. Yeah, Team Mitch. Team Mitch. Woo. Hell yeah. 6 more years, guys. Hopefully. Bro's gonna be running from his, running for, he's senator, right? He's gonna be running for senator from his coffin the next time he runs. Poor guy. Like, I hate to make fun of him. I really do. But at the same time, guys, this has to be a reality check. I can't just let this one slide. Let's see what this
Video
girl said.
today. Mitch the glitch taking a little fumble on stage. Can we get some term limits, please? I mean, this motherfucker's gonna croak up there. This is not a good look.
That's pretty much what I said. Whew, Pelosi is 2 years older? Look at this. Pelosi, 84, McConnell, 82, have suffered medical emergencies just in the past few months. Is it time for term limits? Oh yeah, and let's also not forget about John Fetterman, shall we? I can't remember, did he resign, or is he still trying to hit in there? Yeah, well, I think that's all people are doing, is just making fun of his fall. I don't want to make fun of him more than I need to. Moving on. This is, I can't remember if I shared this in the last live stream. Actually, yeah, no, I think I did, so I don't think we're going to cover it again. I think I saved it so I could actually go follow her, because this chick is just amazing. Yeah, she even wrote a book. Look at that. Go check out her book. Alright, well, we got a couple more. Let's get through them so I can start editing.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so I was told yesterday by my friend who does keep up with the politics. He said that he was calling for impeachment against Trump. And then I saw a notification on Twitter saying he actually did. That was last night. I got that pulled up. That's the next tab. I haven't read the speech. I don't know why. I'm gonna assume it's because they're freaking out that their slush funds are running out. And Democrats, demon rats, depending on what you want to call them. I don't want to call them that because you're not supposed to animalize people. That's what the angry Germans did, so I'd rather not do that. But this isn't me animalizing them. I'm just using this as symbolism, right? Symbolically, Democrats are like rats, right? Because they have so much dirt that the second a new dark corner, a new decrepit, dusty corner in the attic opens up, they immediately run straight for the darkness. They're straight for the shadow, right? And it's because they fear the light. And hey, if they fear the light, that should tell you all you need to know, right? Let's see.
And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message. To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke.
I agree. Ethnic cleansing is not a joke. From my understanding, ethnic cleansing means murder involved. Actually, before I go on like a 5-minute tangent, I need to make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. Jordan, you want to be a political commentator, yet you don't know every single word in the dictionary. Well, I'm sorry, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the word and then say something that makes me look even dumber, okay? Okay, so expulsion. I guess they're right. I have to admit it. I guess they're right. And see, this is why I had to look it up. Because if I didn't look it up, I was just about to say I assume it has to involve killing. And it doesn't look like it has to. So I will admit it, you know. They're right. It does sound a bit like ethnic cleansing. However, you could say that they fucked up. The Palestine did do what they've done for the last, 3 years now? Or 2 years? 2 years. Honestly, I don't really like talking too much about this. I like to stay out of foreign stuff. I don't live there. How can I possibly know? I'm not a Muslim. I'm not even a full Christian. So I can't really sit here and pretend like I know the answer, right? And my answer is better than everybody else's on this. But you guys fucked up too, man. You guys got to be able to admit that. Nobody asked you to attack Israel. And attacking Israel, all it did was just give Israel what they wanted. Anyways, let's continue.
Especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing that...
I will say this, just to be fair to the left, I will say they have one point with this, and that is that we have to be careful about what kind of bar we're setting. Because if we can get the whole world to agree to the expulsion and like an ethnic cleansing of a certain ethnicity and a culture, what's stopping, or who's going to be next? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, you're watching a movie and like it's a very intense scene where the leader is talking to his people and the leader asks his right-hand man to do something. His right-hand man's like, no, and so the leader just shoots him right there. And is like, anybody else have any questions? And everybody's just standing there in fear. That's kind of like, it's like, who's next, you know? But like, nobody's thinking about that yet. Normal people don't think about that kind of thing. We got to be careful about the kind of language we use, the bars we set, the people we believe in and vote in. We got to stay self-aware, and what the feeling I'm getting coming back into politics 5 months in, let's pretend this is the political spectrum. This is the left, this hand right here, and this is the right. I don't have 3 hands. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Here, we'll do it like this. Pretend this is me, the end of this, right? So I was very much on the right, or sorry, this would be your right. So yeah, I was very much on the right. Probably more about like right here, not too far. I ain't no racist. I ain't no, you know, any of that. So I'm a paleoconservative constitutionalist, in case anybody's wondering. So you know, I was a bit like right here. No, I don't agree with any of their policies or anything. But now coming back 5 months in, I feel like it's more like this. I'm starting to feel like I'm in the middle now. Like I feel like the right is going a bit culty, and the left. Trust me, I ain't switching sides. Hell no. But the left, maybe they're not even moving. Maybe the right just moved a little bit on its own. Honestly, I can't really tell you, but I just worry about the future of conservatives and them putting all their faith and belief into one president, into one person, into a person who has a very suspicious, I would say, connection to the bigger picture. But that's about the video I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I can't really say it without saying it, so I'm just going to have to make that video tomorrow. Essentially, I'm just worried about the state of the future conservatives and how, because we've pretended like the left are sheep for 5 years or 8 years now, but then here we are. I mean, are we sheep? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. Let's just get back to it.
History of his people to stand there and allow such things to be said. ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity. And I stand...
I would say depending on the situation, and if it's ethnic cleansing of terrorists, then I would say, why didn't anybody have a problem with that when ISIS was getting bombed? That would be my question. Why did nobody have a problem with that 6 years ago? What's the difference between ISIS and Hamas? Can somebody answer that for me? Besides their leader and maybe their very specific message. I mean, I'm sure their messages are all within the same umbrella, but possibly different areas, but all typically, you know, generally the same, right? Explain the difference.
Here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president.
Impeach him for what?
Dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all.
That's
On
true.
this issue,
He's right about
I
that.
stand alone, but I stand for justice. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the president.
I mean, I don't agree with the whole his ethnic cleansing take. I do agree with some of the things he said in there, though, but I don't agree with overall what he's trying to do. And even if I did, I would still think it ain't gonna go nowhere. Nowhere at all. Trump has all the power, and all the countries are bowing to him. He has all the power in the room. There's nothing they're gonna be able to do. Anyways, let's move on. Alright, yep, here we are. So this is when he actually did it. This was 4 p.m. This is when I was editing, or recording my first stream. Let's go
From the
ahead.
other side of the aisle, but from the same state, Democratic Congressman from Texas, a member of the House Financial Services Committee, Al Green. Congressman, thank you for joining us.
Oops, my bad. I do gotta give him a little bit of respect for going on Fox instead of just going to MSNBC or CNN like everybody else would.
Pick up where your colleague and Jackie left off, and they were talking about this historic indictment of the former president, and obviously your colleague, Congressman Williams, feels this is politically motivated. So I ask you, are you concerned? And again, we don't know these charges. I want to be very clear. We don't know what the evidence is. We don't know the charges yet. But are you concerned these charges may be politically motivated and could set a precedent that Democrats might one day regret?
Well,
thank you for having me.
Haven't they already set, like, how many times did they try impeaching Trump? And then how many times did they try impeaching Trump during Biden's term when Trump wasn't even in office and they raided Mar-a-Lago? You guys remember all that? And then right before Trump left office, I think it was the 3rd time he got impeached. He leaves office and he got impeached at least 1 more time, maybe 2 more times. That's 5 times. They've already set 5 bad precedents. And you know what? It's because of those 5 bad precedents that Trump and Elon are doing what they're doing. It's because they can.
It's my opinion that because the indictment is still sealed, we don't know what the charges are. It's difficult to say whether they're politically motivated if you don't know what the charges are that might motivate one to do something.
That's true,
I think
but
we'll have to wait until
if that's the case, then you need to tell us the charges. You can't just sit here and do this posturing. Oh, look at us, we're making a stand, but not really doing jack squat. Tell us what the charges are so we can decide as the people if they're politically motivated or not. And I'm 95% sure they are. So
after the indictment has been unsealed, and I'm told that this will happen on Tuesday of next week. I would also add this, that I don't think that we in Congress supervise prosecutors, state's attorneys.
I would like to say earlier I called him a senator, or no, sorry, that was Mitch McConnell. Never mind.
That's just not our job. Once we do this, we start to cross a line. The president is innocent until proven guilty. He is deserving of all.
That's not what Maxine Waters was saying. When she was saying, if you see them in public, harass them. If you see them in public, scream. If you see them in public, yell. If you see them in public, go get somebody. If you see them in public, start recording. If you see them in public, ruin their day, ruin their date, ruin their night, ruin their movie. Do you not seem to remember that? And that's just one case. That's one Democrat, and that's just one case of what she has done. There's 30 cases about her in the last 10 years, and that's just one Democrat. Times 200 Democrats. 30 times 200. I ain't doing that fucking math. You get the goddamn point.
All of the due process that the law affords. He can have motions filed before the trial judge such that he can bring these issues to the attention of the court, and the court will make a ruling. I'm amenable and willing to accept the decision of the court. I trust that my colleagues will do the same.
All right, now let me turn a little bit to the...
Yeah, but see, that's where I say it's not going to work out, because don't we control Congress, Senate, and the executive branch? Or sorry, I shouldn't say... Well, yeah, no, that is the executive branch. Yeah, we literally control everything. We control the House, Congress, Senate, presidency. Now we control the agencies, quite literally, telling them, hey, don't come back.
Current occupant of the White House, President Biden. We've been getting some new Fox News polls, and one of them, Congressman, specifically addressing the economy. We can show you here his approval on the economy, now 35%. What is your take on the fact that the president is struggling on the economy?
I would like to see a higher rating, but I'm realizing now, having been in Congress as long as I have, that presidents getting the high ratings that they used to get is unlikely, because there is so much negativism that a president has to contend with.
I agree with that, and I would like to add to his point, presidents are never going to get high ratings again unless everything calms the hell down. For two reasons. One being everybody is so hyper-focused on investigating everybody. Everybody wants to be a autistic, hyper-focused internet sleuth, right? That digs into everything, you know. And then the other thing, hold on, let's go back a little bit. I want to hear what he said like 8 seconds ago.
Having been in Congress as long as I have, that presidents getting the high ratings that they used to get is unlikely.
But why?
Because there is so much negativism that a president has to contend with. This president has to contend with a war that disrupts.
Yeah, okay, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say the second thing, I just wanted to see if he would say it. The second thing is technology, the advance in technology. Even if politicians could still hide everything they could do, there are still so many hackers. Like, wait, wasn't there like a furry group 2-3 months ago that hacked into the Internet Archive? They hacked into the FBI database or something like that? Yeah. If a whole bunch of furries and God knows where can do it, then yeah, you're not hiding anything. Can't hide anything. Everybody's in your business. And then, yeah, that kind of goes into my first point. Everybody's so judgmental. As soon as they see one thing about you, they immediately hate you. It's a very, very, like, thin line now from hate to being okay with somebody. And it's quite sad, honestly.
The supply chains, he had to contend with the pandemic, and is still, to a certain extent, having to deal with some of the residue from the pandemic. This president has done a job that I think is good. I respect what he's done. We have now seen gas prices come down about 30%, and jobs are still going up. This is one of those times when you have something that's somewhat anomalous.
Yeah.
Prices of gas coming down, inflation coming down, and you still have jobs being created. It's a fantastic thing that he's doing. So I support this president now. I will continue to support him because I understand that he's a sure hand on the economy.
He hasn't announced yet any insight on when he will announce for re-election?
Well, I think it will happen sooner rather than later. He hasn't told me, but I'm going to be with him whenever he announces because I believe he's done a good job and he merits a second term.
All right, Congressman Al Green, thank you for your time today. We've got to leave it there.
Yeah, dude, you just proved you're crazy, and everything I just thought about you and agreed with you on just went out the window. Damn, dude. So essentially, he's not even saying like what the claims or evidence is. Let me just read through it really quickly. Maybe he does. Blah blah blah. Yep, we watched that. Yeah, no, that's it. They're literally impeaching him for no reason. No reason at all. Alright, moving on. This is just no politics. I wanted to talk about something else. I wanted your guys' opinion on this. On the front line against bird flu, egg farmers fear they're losing the battle. And this is about a secret pandemic that's been going on. I'm sure you guys already know. I think TikTok makes small ideas mainstream pretty fast. And so I'm assuming a lot of people know about this. 6.5 million of his birds needed to die. There isn't even this many people in some countries. You guys know that, right? The mental toll on our team of dealing with that many dead chickens is just, I mean, you can't imagine it. I didn't sleep. Our team didn't sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep either. 12-hour shifts, and you're only 1,000 chickens in, and you got 8.5 million more to go. I can't imagine that. Knowing you're going to be there for the next 5 years just picking up dead corpses. Whew. In April, first hens tested positive. Okay, within 24 to 48 hours of the first detection, state and federal animal health officials worked with farms to cull infected flocks to reduce the risk of transmission. That's followed by extensive disinfection and months of surveillance and testing to make sure the virus is not still lurking somewhere on site. Since then, egg farms have had to invest millions of dollars into biosecurity. Employees shower in and shower out before they start working and after their shift ends to prevent spreading the virus. But none of that has been enough to contain the outbreak and started 3 years ago. This time, the risk to human health is only growing, experts say. 66 of the 68 total human cases in the United States have been just since March, including the first human death in this country earlier this month. That's 66 of 68 human cases have been since just March. 68... And are they talking about last March? So 68 in just a year, that's like one dead every 3 days. It's not that bad, but I mean, it's still bad for the food industry, and finances. I wonder if like restaurants are having to pay double now for chicken. Especially safe chicken. You know, you gotta pay quality dollar now just to be able to get safe chicken. I wonder if that's the case. This time the risk to human health is only growing. The last 6 months have accelerated my concern, which was already high. That is what a doctor, an infectious disease physician, and founding director of the Boston University said. Damn, okay. She knows what she's talking about. Controlling this virus has become more challenging. precisely because it's so entrenched in the global environment, spilling into mammals such as dairy cows and affecting 147 million birds in commercial and backyard flocks. So that's kind of why I wanted to get into this, because this virus is spilling into backyard flocks. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys like have any chickens or like chicken coops or anything, but if you do or you plan on it, you might want to read into this, because the way it's sounding is in the next year or two, or hell, maybe even now, there's no way to have chickens and eggs in your backyard. Because if you have standing water, or if you have trees, the birds are just going to go straight to it, right? The virus is going to be, and then the wind is going to carry the virus over to your bird. Or, sorry, well, yeah, a chicken is a bird, right? The one we're battling today is unique. The former lab director of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Holy shit, why do they have such long... Damn. It's not saying for sure there's going to be a pandemic, but it's saying the more human infections, the spreading into multiple mammal species is concerning. Yes, I would agree with that. So far, none of the 23 people who contracted the disease from commercial poultry have experienced severe cases, but the risks are still very real. The first human death was a Louisiana patient who had contact with both wild birds and backyard poultry. The person was over the age of 65 and had underlying medical conditions. What that tells me is this is more than likely killing people with immune systems that are already shot. So if you're old and you had or have medical conditions, you might want to think about your chickens outside your house. That's what it sounded like to me. And I don't know how young or fit these 23 people were. They don't really say. Teaching kids how to raise poultry. Now with the bird flu outbreak, I just don't let people go out to my barn. Reams even swapped real birds with fake ones for kids to use while being assessed by judges at chicken raising competitions. We made changes to the fair last year, which I got questioned about a lot, and I said, no, I gotta think about the safety of the kids. Hell yeah. Good on this woman. Putting the kids first. I like that. And then this is where I kind of want to end it off with the article, is they're talking about vaccinating the birds. And I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. What would you guys think about vaccinating birds, chickens? If it meant none of them were going to die, but we were going to have to eat vaccinated meat. I mean, we already do, don't we? I think there's like certain countries like German or in Netherlands or something where like they don't do anything to their meat. Another thing I know is most meat is actually not made in America. It's they got rid of this law. It was like a labeling law about 7 years ago, 10 years ago, right around there. And in this law, as long as the meat is packaged, or food is packaged here in the United States, you can say it was made in the United States. So they could kill a cow in Germany without the regulations of the FDA, right? Sit there, pump it full of COVID vaccines, either kill the cow and send the cow, or send the cow. I don't know how they do it, right? And then they take that cow or the meat, they put the meat, or they kill the cow and then get the meat, right? And then they put it in the packaging and then they say made in America. And that's the way it goes. And you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's regulatory, it's safe, it's great. I've heard the opposite. And I don't know about you, but buying meat for the last 5 years has been different. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I would go to grab the meat off the shelf at Walmart, right? It would be a little squishy. But now when you go to grab the meat, it feels like Play-Doh. It feels textury. I don't know. It don't feel right. It feels slimy, don't it? Am I crazy, or has anybody else noticed that? It's like the last 5-6 years, hamburger meat, or ground hamburger meat, has just been like that. Very, very odd. If we vaccinate, we not only lose $6 billion potentially in exports a year. If they shut us off, that product comes back on the U.S. market. Said we lose $18 billion. Oh my God. 200,000 agriculture jobs. Wow. Even if those trade rules change to allow meat and eggs from vaccinated birds, there would still be logistical hurdles. Vaccination possibly could be on the horizon future, but it's not going to be tomorrow or the next day, next year or whatever. So they don't even know when it's going to happen. So this is what I'm saying. If you have chickens, please pay attention to this. Go do some research, because I planned on getting some chickens, and now I have to keep an eye on this before I end up doing that. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. Everybody's so hyper-focused on Elon Musk and Trump right now that I feel like somebody had to say something, right? And I don't know if somebody is, but I thought I would. Anyways, moving on. Last thing I wanted to talk about. My jaw's starting to hurt. I'm not used to talking this long, especially talking to myself. It's a very weird situation. Did AI fail to prevent the fatal stampede at India's Kumbh festival? Now, obviously, this happened January 31st. That's damn near 6 days now. The reason why I want to talk about this is towards the end, so please just bear with me. I know it's late news, but I saw something and nobody's asking themselves about it. Nobody is asking themselves at all. So just watch. Essentially, I'm just going to give you the rundown. In India, every 13 years, 14 years, they have a festival. In this festival, it's like bull riding from, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen pictures, but I'm assuming as an American, it's like national bull riding. You know, I forget what the NBR, is that what it is? And so last 13 years ago, they do it every so amount of certain years. The last time they did it, there was another stampede, and I think just as many people died, either slightly less or slightly more, but typically around that same average median, people died, okay? And so this time, they wanted to do AI. Now, what I wanted to talk about is how they did the AI, okay? And so this AI is going to be, or did, watch everybody, and it was supposed to alert the security if anything would go wrong. If there was too much traffic in one area, then they would have to go and control it. Let's just get to the story. Held every 12 years, that's what it is, 400 million people. Guys, that's how many people are in the United States. Imagine the entire United States going to one city for a festival. Think about that for a moment. That is insane. I didn't even know that until right now. India has a grim track record for stampedes at religious festivals. 36 were killed at the last one in 2013. Yeah, so there you go. That's the one I was talking about. Critics have blamed organizers for failing to prevent the latest crush despite extensive tech surveillance and security, but authorities say they were helped by AI and other factors were to blame. Alright, the AI technology enabled cameras were sending us timely alerts on crowd surge from every junction, but there was not enough policemen on the ground to prevent people from creating a jam. Where the stampede happened, this guy says the same thing. Policemen rushed over to the confluence of the rivers where the crush happened. Another stampede sparked on the other side of the river where there wasn't a lot of forces because they all went to the other side, and now they all need to run back. So, I mean, there's a huge delay. That was the issue. Okay. AI also learning. Essentially, the event was 4,000 by 7,500 football fields. Okay. And I understand why they had to use AI for a 400 million person event. That's absolutely insane. It's like a fucking Taylor Swift concert. Hold on, I'm kidding. They employed, okay, so this is where it gets good. They employed some 2,760 closed circuit television cameras, drones and tethered drones to monitor the festival area, as well as anti-drone craft to find and remove unauthorized drones. Authorities also used underwater drones that can operate to a depth of 100 meters, equipped with advanced technology to function in low light conditions. Guys, they're putting AI technology in drones and water submersible drones. The AI technology not only calculates crowd numbers, but also alerts authorities when there is a surge in any section of the festival city, a fire, or if people cross barricades. The alerts are sent to personnel on the ground to take corrective action. Police agreed that using AI has had its limitations at the festival, which began on January 13th and ends on February 26th. So, essentially, they use 3,000 cameras, drones, submersible drones, and I don't know what the hell a tethered drone is, but they installed AI technology into it, and this AI technology was monitoring 400 million people. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I was sitting there reading this, and I was thinking, wait, if India just brought out this technology, we know they didn't create it. So who the hell did, right? So that's my first question, is who provided this? Was it a private company? Who are their shareholders? Blah, 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 blah. And then the second thing I was wondering is India, only 3% of their population own cars. And we make 10 times as much money as them. So if they could have it, we definitely could have it. And that's the point I wanted to make, was what's stopping the government now from just installing AI technology on a drone, which I'm sure they've already done to every single drone they own, and just parking it right outside your house, or putting it on site, or right on top of your roof. And you do know they make tiny drones like this, right? They do make mini pocket drones. I don't know if you guys know that or not. You don't need a big drone to put AI technology in it. At least I think so. I'm not an AI or electronics expert, but I'm assuming AI technology is just software. It's not hardware, correct? So I just kind of wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Maybe there might be something here worth digging into. So, hey, my hyper-focused conservatives, go right ahead. Dig. Go ahead and dig. I'm gonna watch this last video real quick, but I gotta use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So, I saw this, I guess you could say, not very well known YouTuber. He was talking about hold on to hope, and I just wanted to see what he said. I was feeling very unconfident, right? And so I kind of just want to see what he has to say.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I'm actually recording today's video from Serbia. I'll show you guys real quick.
Serbia? What the hell are you doing over there, man?
Little change of scenery, just here for a couple weeks. But if you guys want to know about that, just leave in the comments. A whole different story. But anyway, today I want to make a video about holding on to hope. So I know life can get tough sometimes. There's a lot of things that can just seem like they're impossible to get around, but I'm here to tell you that you can achieve those things. You can make it past whatever difficulties you're facing. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You just need to hold on to that knowledge that you can, that belief, that knowing, whatever it is for you that keeps you going. You need to hold on to that, because it can get very tough, and a lot of times things will get dark and it'll seem like it's the end, and it's just no way that you can make it happen, or this is just this is what's going to be this is what's going to do it for you. But I'm here to tell you that it's not true. And honestly, those times are what create the best stories and
Yeah, he's not wrong
the best
about that.
situations to become your best self and to do those things that you want to do. So a lot of times we see these things as reasons to stop. Or
I'm gonna go ahead and skip. I don't want him to think I like ripped his video off or anything. I
you
just
can
want
kind of tell
to
yourself
what else
during
he has to say.
those moments of just those moments that feel like they're just the end. You know, I've had plenty of those, plenty recently, just craziness, and you gotta just keep going. You gotta hold on to whatever that is for you, the hope, faith of whatever your reason was to start, whatever your why is. That's what you need to focus on, not the current situations, not on whatever the difficulty is. You need to focus on why you started in the first place, and just keep that in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind even, and just whatever happens, just know why you're working towards it, why you started in the first place, and that the difficulties mean that you are on the right path, not that you should stop, or that you're...
That's actually a really great point. I think we might just end it right there, just like that. The path you're on, the difficulties, it's what makes you who you are. I love that. He's gonna get a like from me. Go over here. Go check out this guy's YouTube channel, guys. Well, anyways, that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow is Thursday. I didn't plan on doing anything. Obviously now I have a video or two to make, so that's what I'll be doing. Don't expect a live stream in the morning. I mean, hell, I might do one. We'll see. I'll think about it. Or I guess it would just be a recording, right? But other than that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on my first stream. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you guys will check out my videos tomorrow. Thank you, and have a great night.